while. Still loves that wall. Which is outside of the maze limits as well, people. I don't know why this doesn't like that. Thanks, Ian. So anybody that hasn't seen this competition before, this is us starting off. We've got 10 minutes on the clock per robot, or per competitor. So you see the timer counting down. And what they're doing is getting the robot ready to do the first search of the maze. What's critical to understand here is we can see the maze, we can see our way through it. The robot doesn't know. All the robot knows is that there's a 16 by 16 grid maze. There's walls all the way around the outside, and there's a wall on the right hand side of that start cell, and it's trying to get to the middle, and that's immediately crashed. So that's not the best start. So reset that and start again. Is that the one with the dodgy cable? Dodgy cable there? Yeah, so this one has an intermittent fault. There's some soldering that needs to be done that we haven't been able to do. So he's now on his second run. You'll see as well, as part of the 10-minute conditions of the competition, you only get 5 runs, and a run counts as leaving the start cell and returning back, or leaving the start cell and then picking up the mouse. So this is working now. As I said, it doesn't know the maze, so it's recording the maze as it goes. Is it going to sneak into the centre of the time? Yes. And actually a very good time, as you'll see later on, of 22 seconds, which I've got 0 chance of beating. So now that it's run once and maybe knows its way to the centre, it will run again. And so this will be repeated per competitor. And we really can't stress enough how hard this is to get a mouse to drive around the maze and make its way to the middle and back again successfully. I don't know how old this robot is in particular, but it's quite an older mouse, and even it has bad days. You'll notice as well then it's sped up a little bit on a straight, and now it's given up. We'll see. We're going to try again. Right, so you can accelerate on a known straight. Just to try and get as fast a time as possible. As I said, getting to the middle is only half the battle. You've then got to get there quicker than everyone else. And there should be some really fast minds running this afternoon. Hopefully interesting and fun to watch. There you go, already a big improvement on the first run, 16.5 seconds. I'm not going to go any lower than that for the moment until we get some faster in my set. And then on the way back, you do have the opportunity, depending on how you've written your software, to try and find more of the maze if you think that's worthwhile. So this robot's decided that it knows the best way from the start to the middle. So it's not going to waste any more time. Come back to the start. It resets itself automatically, and then we'll start off again with no interaction. Again, these aren't controlled. There isn't someone hiding away with a video camera and a remote control controlling these things. It's all driven by the software that you have to write. As part of the group, we do provide software if you use hardware we suggest as well to get you a good starting point. That's a fantastic time, 11.1. That's going to be that is going to be close to the top in terms of the run time. Yeah, I know. Right, so this will be a completely different mouse usually. This is going to be my one. So let's get this up and running. I'll just set this off and I'll call.
So I think this is the second competition that Paul is running. It's a fair apparently. But we have seen this robot running this morning, so we've got high expectations. I would like to cheat everybody's robots by telling them how well they're going to run. There you go. Do you need to concentrate on this now, do you? So this is built on a UKMARS block. Yeah?
Yeah, so this is built on the chassis that the group provides. When you become a member of UKMARS, you get a chassis and sensor boards, so you don't have to worry about making your own PCB. This is built on this. I've made this a lot harder for myself than you probably should. So this is the UKMARS base, and I'm running one of the Arduino clones that uses the Raspberry Pi chip, so I can run MicroPython as my software. Python's very popular in schools, and I don't know why it's done that way, that's a bit of a low. And yeah, so this is probably like a year in the making, on and off, which I don't know whether it shows how difficult this is or how slow I am at making it work. But you'll see as well, this is a lot more, isn't as smooth as the mouse you just saw run. So this is much slower, much more deliberate. I haven't got it turning smoothly, it will come to a complete stop before it does a rotation, as you see there. You'll see it occasionally back into a wall, which it will do now. That's so that I can keep 120, I'm actually quite pleased with that. You'll see it back into a wall. It's now going to hopefully try and find a different route back to the start. As I said, it will back into a wall, and you'll see mice that will and won't do that. That's because my mouse doesn't have any confidence that it knows where it is. I know where it is in terms of what cell it's in, but how far in that cell I don't have any confidence whatsoever. So if I back into a wall, drive the motor so that I'm 100% reversing into that wall as hard as I can, then I know I'm at that back wall and I can reset the sensing position from there. And now it's just on its way back, finding, this could in theory find the fastest route now back to the maze, because we've been here all day and we know what the sort of the fast route is. So we'll see what a speed run is on my time, which will be interesting because it will run the fastest route, but it will still do its reverse into the wall reset thingy. There's many improvements I need to make because I'm burning a lot of time of my 10 minutes allowance by running this slowly. Again, that's very much the safety from my part, so it doesn't crash if you turn on it. Hopefully it makes it all the way back to the start cell and it can reset itself. Which it does, so that's good. Right, I'll just hand this off and then I'll get it running on its fast run.
Okay, so this is back to the start. Paul's just back up to the wall because that way he knows exactly where his robot is in the cell. So he can start his next run and he can talk us through the fast run.
So while the mouse is driving around the maze, it's recording in memory where the walls are and where the walls aren't. Both are important. Well, actually, what's more important is where the walls aren't. That's the critical thing to note now. So what it's doing now is the most direct route it's worked out to the centre of the maze. But I still don't have a lot of confidence in my absolute positioning, so I still reverse into the wall to sort of re-zero myself. But this is now not going to make any dead ends, it's not going to make any wrong turns, he says optimistically, and we'll get to the centre. But what I've got no idea on is how much quicker this might be over the 81 seconds the first run. And then assuming this run works, I can try and up the speed and then we might see it crash. But you see, part of the challenge with this competition is, as I said, you've got 5 runs for 10 minutes. And if you see that timer ticking down in green, this is about to nearly use the 5 minutes, so half of my allotted time. I've only done 2 runs. So 108, that's quite good. I'm pleased with that. That's quite a bit faster. So now when it makes its way back, I probably should pick it up, but I'll let it run. And it's decided to try and search a bit more of the maze. So that's interesting, and I know there isn't a faster way, so I'm not entirely sure why it's doing that. Something to add to the ever-growing to-do list on how to make these things quicker. And this is the next step for me. So today is the first day out of 3 competitions it's ever made it to the centre of the maze. One competition is to make it out of the start. This is the confusion in the code. Because of the way the system works, it got confused with itself and had to stop and have a rethink. Which is what the code is designed to do, but it did mean it turned around twice for no reason. I think it clipped the wall, and you'll see the benefit of why I backed into the wall at that point, because it re-squared it, so it doesn't go off at a jaunty angle, which will lead to a crash. And again, how much time have I got? So I've got 4 minutes, so I can definitely do one more run, and this will depend whether the code I wrote to make it faster or whether it just immediately works. You'll see I've got an Android smartphone sat by the start cell, which is what I'm using to send control signals. Not now, as you can see I'm not holding it, but I can tell it what it's going to do. And then you may have seen at the start, I put my hand in front of the sensors, and that lets me trigger the start of the computer. Right, so let me see if I can make it go faster and see if we can beat 68 seconds.
Okay, so while Paul's fiddling with the numbers there, so this is a tricky challenge, and Paul's just repositioning it again. Make sure he knows exactly where he is, because it's very hard to know exactly how far down the cell you are. The errors accumulate as you go further and further. So every now and then you can just reverse up, line up the back of the robot, you know you are in the cell, and you can reposition from there. So let's see if this new setting is going to do the trick and maybe get you under the minute here. Cool. Possibility, I think. Off we go.
Right, so this in theory is now running 50% faster than it was. I probably will run out of time. I could try making it run twice as fast, but that would probably definitely absolutely fast. But let's see what the control systems do. Because I've made this a little bit harder for myself than I probably should have by writing this in Python, I can only, but this robot is calculating where it's going and what it's doing 160 times a second. A lot of the other robots will be running at either 250 Hz or maybe even 500 times a second to calculate what it's doing and correct its steering and control within or positioning within the cell. Let's see, under a minute. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's quite a bit faster. So, when it gets back fast enough, we'll see if it'll make it crash. Right, okay, so just double checking on the rules. So I do have a minute 30 left. So, yeah, I might go pick it up.
Yeah, so this is where time really counts, because if the green counter goes down to 0, then the run stops, that's the end of the entry. So rather than waiting for it to make its way back there, Paul's gone for the manual intervention, pick it up, get it in the start cell, so hopefully we can get it on its way again if the time ticks down. No pressure. You away? Yeah.
Okay. Now can I beat my own time, or can I beat the timer for the round? So this is now running so the first circuit you saw were running at 200 millimeters a second. It was then running at 300 millimeters a second, and this I've told it to now run a maximum speed of 350 millimeters a second, which is still quite slow compared to a lot of the robots that you'll see come after this. The trick is that, now that I can get to the middle, the competition is to be first, right? You want to be as fast as possible. So that's the next step. And there's 6 or 7 different ways that I can think of to do that. There's probably 7 I don't even know about. One way certainly is to stop it backing into a wall, but this is going to cost me a few seconds. There we go, 1 second left. Oh, that was success right there. Look at that, the computer is there, the change. But you see as well, I only got 4 out of my 5 runs. So speed is really, really important in this thing. So I'll pick this up and then we'll see who's next.
Okay, so the next one up is Jim with PicOne Turbo. How old is this robot?
This was built about schools and hobbies to put together Micromouse. The whole complex and having built hardware and software together is very, very challenging. So if you have a kid work out of the poetry, this is programmed in BASIC and it's a very, very low cost kit with 3 mouse components. So it's easy to solder together and hopefully it's still running after 20 years, so we'll give it a go and see what happens.
Okay, well this is an antique. I think it has a new battery though. Do you want to talk to it?
Yeah, so basically this is a quite certain made here. We've got 3 sensors, one down the side and one down the front. Sensor with a it's got very coarse code in the back of the wheel, about 1 metre per pound, and it's pretty well. But now it's trying to come back to the start and try and do this one quicker and try and put the diagonal things. It's a little bit tricky because the mouse only just fits down diagonal, so it has to do a little going through. So hopefully it'll run well. The original kit had a 9-volt battery in it. This one's now got a LiPo battery. Nerve-wracking watching it. Yeah, here we go.
Is that it? That's it. Okay, well done. So just because they're old doesn't mean they don't work, right? So next we've got Bernard with Topaz. Okay, Bernard? Well, brilliant. So I don't know a great deal about this. This is one of Bernard's own bespoke robots. Processors,
It's a school robot. It was designed to teach year 11 children about robotics. It uses a PicOne microchip programmed in BASIC.
so there we are. This is the second robot. Last robot we saw was programmed in BASIC. This one's also programmed in BASIC. But running really smoothly there. So to be sure of his position again, Bernard's doing quite a lot of reversing against moves here. But it does mean that he sets off from the corner knowing exactly where he is. So moving very smoothly there, but I don't think it's really nice. Bernard said he'd like it to be faster. I think that's pretty much true for everybody. But slowly getting there is worth it, I think. So I'm making a good progress here. Brilliant, well done, on the time. So while they're watching Bernard's robot come back, we can talk a little bit about the timing here, which you can actually see on this maze. You'll see a blue light shining across the finish gate there, where they go into the goal, and also a couple of blue lights down here, and that's how we're doing the timing. And they're sent by wireless to a controller over here, which comes out over on in the timing wheel up here. And our rule at the moment is that if you close the gate at finish, then you get a time. People have been known to crash into the gate at the finish, but so long as they make the gate close, then we get the time. I'm not suggesting you're doing that, but So Ben has just confessed to a bug in his code, which is very gentlemanly of him, which says that he's not actually going to come back to here. He's going to go one cell short and then set off looking. So although that will be entertaining, you won't get a time for it. So. Right. Well, some people doesn't get a time. So is this still searching, buddy? Are you still searching? So quite often there are multiple routes through a maze to get to the centre. So people have different strategies. Some people, like I started out, once I found the centre and the route, my reliability wasn't good enough for me to carry on going around the maze, so I go back and get there as fast as I could. What Bernard's doing now is another searching run to make sure he's explored as much of the maze as he can, in case there's a faster route than one he's already found. Which is why you're moving as smoothly as this, and you're not clipping walls or having any problems like that. It's quite a nice thing to do. Okay, so he's found the target again. He's just exploring around the target as well, because sometimes the target has two entrances, and if you do this, you can just run out. Is it likely to take a run? So I think he's now still exploring a little bit back. Right. And Bernard says that now he's exhausted himself looking. So the next time he comes back here, he will try and do a fast run. Now, regrettably, we won't see a time for that. Okay, so Ben tells you what he's done there. So what Ben has done there, taking it back to the start, because he knew what was going to get there. But he had remembered the maze. Unfortunately, he remembered the wall that isn't there. So he turned himself around and he was never going to succeed after that point, so that's the retirement here.
Mouse X is ready. Right, this is well, I find that to be information. This is another older mouse. This is a nice way. Oh, straight out of the gate, straight into a crash. As you see, you know, we've been here walking past us throughout the day, and we're here again tomorrow as well, where we've been, you know, very rare do you have access to a full-size competition maze. So we take the opportunity when we can to practice and try and check that the mice work. We don't record the maze as we're going around, and actually knowing the maze is only of a slight advantage. Like, you've still got to not hit the wall. So we're just see I thought something fell off as well there by your foot. So this is a very important looking elastic band. Might be a wood piece of wheel. Oh, the tyres come off. So if you do have a look at the photos, you will see these things are made, and while they can take a hit on the wall, they are sort of sometimes delicately held together, and also very strongly held together. Some of the sections are glued together with epoxy, some are held up with glue tack. Right, we're going to abandon the wheels. No tyres, running rigless, and let's see how we do. The time is reset, it's not very happy. You're retiring that one. Right. So again, you see, you get your 10 minutes, and that's it. It can all go horribly wrong right out of the gate. So we'll see who's up next, and go from there. We've still got lots of mice still to run, and some very, very fast mice still to run as well. I hopefully that showcases the complexity of this relatively simple looking problem in actually building a mouse that will do this. It really does seem simple, but there's a lot of complexity once you get into it. We'll find out who's up next. Right, so just on to retrieve for now. And obviously, if you were interested in having a go at this yourself, QR codes are in front of you. Look up the member's website and join our group. As I say, we provide sort of a base level of hardware for you, and plenty of information and highly skilled people that you see around us to help you get started. I certainly wouldn't have got my mouse anywhere near where I've got today without the help of everyone here. So please just go through the start procedures. This is where you do have to concentrate and pay attention. You don't want to push the wrong button. You don't want to knock the mouse and have it think it's somewhere it isn't because you've knocked it pressing the start button. And off we go. I think this is another one running in Python. Is that right, Andy? Yep. So again, a lot of the code that you'll see, we've got 4 different languages in use today. We've already seen 2 mice running in BASIC. This is now a second mouse that's running in MicroPython on one of the microcontrollers. Very accessible language to use, and that's why we're seeing it becoming more popular. Taught in schools, people like academia and offices now. It's sort of the new language of Excel. But most mice you'll see are programmed in C or C++. You just get a lot more performance that way. And then there are some mouse. Oh no, it's at the wall. Jump up and down, you might nudge it. We do get a couple of mice that are written in Forth, an assembly style language. You just have to do that. So if you do touch the mouse or interact with it in any way, it does disqualify your run, but the mouse is still valid to run around if it thinks it knows where it's going and it thinks it can find a route. This time won't count. Well, it's split the wall again. Now it's just going straight into the wall. It thinks there's one. It doesn't think it's there. So the question is, does it remember where it's gone, David, or does it start again? No, see. One of the many tricks or decisions you have to make as you're driving around and recording where there are and aren't rules is when and if you save this information. And do you just save it so that it's there while the mouse is powered up, meaning if you took the power away and restarted it, that information is lost, or do you save it to the memory fast card or something like that, you usually retrieve it later. And then again, when do you save this information? Because if you make a mistake in your programming and put in rules or take rules away that aren't really there, then you've got to either reset that or the mouse might not find its way to the sensor. There's different coding techniques you could use to try and mitigate some of that. You could try and detect that you've hit a wall. If you know how fast you should be going and you're not going that fast, you could say you hit a wall. Or if you've got any accelerometers or gyroscopes, which potentially detect that you're not where you think you are. The second run going, 7 minutes still left. And you'll see again, this robot shows a different, I think a simpler example of how the sensors work. It's flashing on and off. You don't need the sensors to be running all the time. You need it for correcting the steering left and right and for seeing the walls. You don't have to see where the walls are all of the time. You only want to detect where the walls are in the next cell you're entering. There is some, if you get super advanced, you might want to see further ahead than that, but at a basic level, you only really need to potentially look at the sensors for the front ones at least, once per cell. And then you want to do field corrections as well. We'll try one more time. Still 6 minutes. And again, so rare to be able to get the access to the competition size made. I don't think anybody has one that's big at home. We normally deal with 4x6s or something that you cobble together out of cardboard or wood. You don't have to go to the lengths we've gone to here to make a maze at home. They can be made quite simply out of relatively cheap bits of foam board or cardboard or vinyl that will get you up and running. So that will really run a different way. Oh, it's going to flip the wall again. Someone jump up and down and see if it moves. No, it's not happy in the big maze. And there are surprising differences from competition to competition. This is the same maze we've used all of this year. But one of the great favourite exclusives of the Micromouse is that the light is different. We like that one as the reason why it crashed. Or the maze wall is funny. It's got different, it reflects differently. Or someone's used a flash photography at the wrong moment and tricked it. It's all the sort of excuses we can come up with to try and make ourselves feel a little bit better. Or I think we might do it. Everyone just, oh no, I spoke too soon. Comment here, yes. Oh, it's better to burst around the corner, so isn't it? And this is always the case as well, as David's unfortunately devastating for us. Your mouse always goes wrong out of reach. And then you have to try and retrieve it without breaking the maze. Right, so if I'm reading that through, I think Asymouse is up next. I don't know who is the owner of that one. Oh, there we go, here we go. This is another, I think this is an older style one, custom PCB designed by Ian. You'll see, walk too far away from the speaker. As of when it comes round, you'll see some of the building materials we'll use. I think there's some hot glue holding this one together, which it is valid, very useful. And then the tricky bit is you think you told the mouse to go and it doesn't. You have to be very sure. It comes back down to the start procedures and making sure you can reliably tell the system what you want it to do. And again, you'll notice because the mouse has been placed in the start cell, the timer is ticking. Not the run time, but your 10 minutes that you get to complete all of your runs. So, here we go. Right flag. Now I'm going to guess the jerkiness that we're seeing is sort of accelerate, so down, is so it gets through the cell, works out what's going to happen, and then moves on to the next. So it's slowing down to make the turn. One of the many things you can do to make the mouse faster is if you know there's a load of straights, you can just go faster. Fantastic time, 27 seconds, 27.8. Now we'll see if it takes a different route back home and then what route it decides to take for its fast run. Thought it got long my notes, quite happy. Generally, I think it's generally correct with the mazes. There's at least two decent routes from the start cell all the way to the goal. There's obviously other routes you can take, but there's only two optimal routes. Depending on how the mouse is coded and what its performance characteristics are, will dictate how a person chooses which ones to run. Some mice are very fast around corners, so they'll just go with the shortest route possible. Some mice are very good at going very fast in a straight line, so their algorithm will decide to do the least number of turns possible, and might even choose a longer path that they can traverse it faster. That's all decisions you have to make as a programmer on these mice. And we see clear additional acceleration on the straight lines or straight cells. Another thing you can do to make your mouse go faster is run diagonal. So there's a couple of diagonal capabilities. I think we'll see some diagonal run mice soon enough. I think how those do diagonal. And that increases your speed, or to turn less, you can get through the cells faster. Does require a lot more programming. Your sensor setup needs to be more accurate, and a lot more testing is involved. Every step to make the mouse faster is sort of an exponentially more work. So we can notice compared to my run, so here's like two of his runs with nearly 6.5 minutes left on the clock. So again, the faster you can get back, or the faster you can do your searching, the more time it gives you to tell the mouse what you want it to do, or just to have more chances. You know, we saw Bernard, I think, only completed 2 runs and he used, I think, all of the time available. So here we see turn up the throttle a little bit. This is just the general rule is out of the 5 runs. There we go. 14 seconds. Nearly twice as fast as your first run. So that's an incredible difference in speed that you can get once you start tuning these things and working on how the code works and how you do your solving algorithms. Then you start running into other interesting limits. You know, what battery am I using? Is the battery powerful enough? Is the motor powerful enough? And if I've got a more powerful motor, the tyres work, because you don't want anything to slip. And then if I'm running faster, there's a crash. Oh, this one will crash, here we go. This could be exciting, get ready to catch. That's a tricky bit. Oh, there we go. And that, I keep cursing all these mics. It did a little diagonal fine and then it just missed a 90-degree turn. Okay, see look, 4 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to reconfigure it and set it for another run if that's going to happen. Give it one more go. Don't want to clear the tyres. No. Another trick to go faster, although earlier on it made someone go slower, so that was a revelation. all wheel spin as it's all the way. Oh, I like it. So you see 505 runs, so while there's still time on the clock, that is it. And next up we got Hal. I think this one abuses us as it goes around the corner. The last man panicked to find something, but we got plenty of time. So this mouse does do diagonals. No, it doesn't. I've got it wrong. No, I won't talk about diagonals then. Oh, it's the one that's broken this time.
This year it was about 6, last year it was 8.
So last year this mouse won the US competition, which is called APEC, performed better out of everybody else. I was lucky apparently. So you can win if everyone else crashes. That's what we've just been told.
How's it'll actually talk while it's going round. I've connected the speaker that's on here to a little Bluetooth speaker here. So maybe if I hold this against the microphone, you can hear what it's saying. So let's see how it goes.
The computer must assume control. I must therefore solve with its Megacon Manchester. I am the most reliable computer ever made. But not activity. Pretty much everything the native is heading for destroyed it from managed.
The range isn't very good on the Bluetooth, which is a bit of a problem.
And I think much better now I understand.
That's what's breaking up. It wouldn't normally sound like that.
Recalculating this matrix good exploration has now consequence for this quadrant. All pod bay doors are secure. I am finding this labyrinth most stimulating. My FPC shows the impending failure of all other Micromouse. Uploading pre-construct data. Round 2. Propulsion systems are now set to maximum.
Built this as a replacement to the PicOne kit, but we never got round to finishing it and marketing it. Here again we've got 3 whole components, it's powered by Arduino Nano, it's got 3 sensors, 5 LEDs that reflect on the 3 sensors, so you can effectively look in all directions. It won't do diagonals yet, but it will break the mics.
And that is against the rules, breaking the mic, so... Right, clean the tyres and see what it does. And you'll notice, if you've been doing Micromouse for a number of years, you can get your mouse to talk to people, just to make it slightly more difficult. Just to keep it interesting for people watching. I mean, it might look a little bit sort of ridiculous cleaning the wheels, but it will make and can make a huge difference when these bikes are starting to run, these times, 10-second speeds. If you lose traction, you lose data, and you lose the knowledge of where you are within the cell. And it's sort of a little bit crazy because the millimeters do matter, because it is the difference between going really, really fast or smashing the wall of the Mazesolver. You'll also notice, compared to everyone else, this is the first mouse that's gone this route as its fast one. So a lot of mice have searched in this direction. There we go. So 10.8, 0.1 faster. I know some of the Japanese competitions, 0.1 of a second is the difference between possibly first, second and third. See, we're going to trip the start line and it's cost the last run. Again, very easy. But yeah, that's a proper fast now. I think we're about to see. There is faster mice to come. I think this one is one of the faster mice, or should be. So Peter might give me a funny look if I get this wrong. This is a prototype mouse that Peter's working on in terms of providing us and the public with a base set of code to run and build a mouse that utilises the STM32 chip platform. This will be code available to everybody and help sort of jumpstart your Micromouse journey. Just on its search run. Which is going in, already a better time than a lot of mice you've seen run already today. And again, you've now seen this mouse running for a while, I would say from my perspective, the left and right hand side of the maze. And we'll get to see what decision it makes on how fast what direction the fast run is in. Okay, so Hal's the only one that's gone right for this fast run. We're seeing here we do diagonals, which is always very nice. So at 9.6. But interesting as well, detected the crash, so just stopped. Again, next level, little extra building blocks you can put on. Mice can very quickly destroy themselves when they're fast and crash into things you want to try and prevent it. So the speed up now, so this might go faster. We'll see. You see, I think this is the first mouse that we've seen to do diagonals, so the huge speed advantage or time advantage, I should say, in doing the diagonals. Just doing another search, yeah, and then we'll see it do another fast run. So this is run 3 of 5 at 8 minutes on the clock, and the mouse is this fast, you don't need the 10 minutes. What I've also noticed as well, sometimes you can see the red of the sensors, and that isn't on this mouse, and you won't have seen it on some of the other ones. So this mouse is using infrared sensors. So we can't see it. So infrared sensors, infrared photo resistors to detect the infrared light. I can't really speak for the differences, other than that the infrared ones are supposed to be better because they have less interference. We'll see how fast this fast one is, 9 seconds to beat. There we go, 8.8, so maybe a second time. Right. So final run, and I think this should be max speed now. 8.2, clearly going faster so far. gold mouse, as I just heard. Is this a competition winner in its past? Right, so what I missed out because it hasn't won before. And it's got very upset. Again, hopefully this is showing what sort of the sensitivity of these mice. It's, even if a mouse has done well before and all you've done is put it in a box and then bring it back out, something happens and they'll just stop working, they go on protest that day. Oh, I did it again, I spoke too soon. Although I have decided to go another way. So, last run, let's see what it will do. I've got to compete with the music thing now. That's just having a bad day. Right, now this is the one you will have all been waiting for. We do say that I think it's deliberate that we let Peter run long. Yeah. It is on purpose that this one runs last. I'll hand the microphone over to Peter to let him talk about it, but you should hear this one start up. So this mouse has won a number of competitions, both UK, Portugal, US. It's now a number of years old and is still out with me. 16 seconds on its slow surge run. Very, very high performance mouse as well. So this mouse takes advantage of the way the rules work, and it's not happy with the route it's found yet. And you'll notice it's still on its first run, it didn't go all the way back to the start, so it still counts as one run. The overall time is still ticking down, but what the mouse is doing now is making absolutely certain that it knows the fastest route from the start to the centre. And it's worked it out now, so it's going to come back to the middle. It'll get parked up, wheels will get cleaned. Unfortunately, I don't know that we'll hear it spin up, but let's see if we can hear it. Right, nobody blink. So 5.4 seconds. You possibly can't hear it. The only thing can be a fan. It's using a fan to generate additional downforce. This mouse can accelerate so fast. It needs that downforce, otherwise it will break traction. And I think it's going to be made to go even faster. So let's see if we can get 4 point something. And you can see if you've been here the whole hour, the progression that you can go through in this hobby or obsession, as I think it becomes for a few people. You know, just getting to the centre of the maze is very, very, very difficult, and that is an accomplishment in itself, but then you've just got to get faster. And this is how you get really fast. 4.678. Will it do 3? Again, fast on the way back, immediately doesn't cause a problem, not against the rules. Still 2 runs available. Well, I'm going to guess that the next speed setting has been switched on, and we'll just let this go. 4.3. You notice as well, if you didn't blink, that it clipped the post, again completely within the rules. Really likes this to that rule for some reason. But it clipped the post, but it still made it to the goal, and that's completely within the rules. It still knows where it was. It wasn't out of control, really, and it still successfully completed a run. So as long as you don't purposely damage the maze or your mouse, then hitting the wall is completely fine. It's just whether your software can recover from it. And you'll see as well, so 17 seconds was the first time to get to the centre while it was searching, and then 5 seconds the first speed run. So 3 times faster straight away. Right, this one will probably crash, so really, really don't blink. Oh, just crashed. 4.1. Still on that wall, which is outside of the maze limits as well, people, so I don't know why it doesn't like that one. There you go, so if you fancy having a go, 4.1 seconds is the time to beat on this particular maze. I hope that, it is a very rewarding hobby. You get to learn a lot of things you didn't think you needed to know, and stuff that you wanted to know. I would encourage, as I said, QR codes on the front if you want to find out more about the UKMARS organisation. Everyone around here happy to talk, answer any specific questions you might have or concerns about how you could get started. We'll all be very happy to talk to you and help you start on this journey.